All right, all right, all right. Transparency in the chair, let me tell you, has nothing to do with hair, but stories that derive from the chair.
My name is Rae. My co-pilot is Kay. We are two hairstylists with over 50 years of combined industry experience, ownership, platform artistry, salon education, and mentorship. We are both two sages that have stories to tell.
All right, and you know how juicy it can get. It could be any chair. Think about any chair that you sit on. There's a story in the chair.
With authentic and transparent moments, we are bringing you the juice to you, along with our perspectives, of course.
This is what we're bringing to you every week with confidence and knowledge and nuggets that you will leave this podcast with so much inner feelingness, so much knowledge, so much power, empowerment. So tune in every week and we're going to drop the nuggets on you with special guests from time to time. So don't miss out. Join in to Transparency in the Chair. Sis.
Sister! We got the tea today, babe.
Juice.
The juice.
The juice and the tea.
Did I say tea?
Yeah.
Well, we got the juice.
Yes.
Yes.
And guess what?
What?
Who's going to be bringing the heat?
Khadijah. Yeah, we have a very, very, very special guest.
Yes.
Who is near and dear to both of us, Kay and myself.
Yes.
We have Khadijah Davies.
Yes.
All the way from New Jersey.
And mind you, again, we have a table full of Sagittarius women.
Oh, here we go. Y'all beware.
Buyers beware.
Buyers beware. You got some Sag.
Yes. Because you know how we roll. You
So
know how we come. We bring it. What they say, we say it. Not even intentionally to be
Insulting
mean or anything.
It's
We're just very brutally honest and
we're direct.
and very direct.
We strive to be.
Yes.
So, Khadijah, welcome to Transparency in
In
the
the
chair.
chair.
Well, first, it's an honor and pleasure. As you just stated earlier, I'm in love with you, young lady.
Well, loving.
And we have a great history of being in the hair industry for so many years together.
Yes,
and
yes.
we have been through it all. So I'm grateful that you're bringing me on this platform.
Absolutely.
Humbly
Yes.
and greatly appreciate it.
Ooh.
Great. So, look, and keeping on brand here,
Right.
our topic for today,
Is
give it to him, Kay. Give it to him.
life with an alpha female.
Mm.
What does that look like?
What does it look like? What does it feel like? What are
Right.
the struggles that we come across?
Absolutely. And that's in relationships,
Yeah.
friendships,
Work.
Good topic,
business.
Good topic.
Yes.
You know, it's big.
Yes. Because it's a lot of negative connotations to an alpha female.
Absolutely.
Right.
So that's what we're going to dive in today.
Right.
So should I start off with the definition of an alpha female?
See.
Fact checker in the house.
Mm-hmm.
An alpha female is a strong and successful woman who publicly embraces her leadership skills. Common alpha female traits include high levels of confidence, assertiveness, and ambition. To be an alpha female, working on defining and achieving your goals.
Wow.
Okay. So that's the textbook definition of it.
Mm.
Most people who are uneducated and don't know or just on the outside looking in would say, that's just the woman trying to be the man in the relationship and they just too strong and it can't be two alphas in the relationship.
Mm.
Right.
So let's talk about it.
Right. Because what does that look like for most people? For myself,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not a person on titles per se,
Mm-hmm.
but since it does have a definition, there's some
Well,
validity to
yeah,
this thing,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And so being secure, being
Mhm.
confident in myself and who I am, and I know what I bring to the table,
Right.
you know, definitely gives you a leg up. Because when you're confident,
Mhm.
you know, doors open for you.
Right.
People are attracted to confidence, you know,
Yes,
whether
yes.
you're a male or a female,
Yes.
you know? So it's just directionally knowing how to execute a thing, how to make it happen, being a go-getter,
Mhm.
and just knowing that, hey, I'm going to make it happen. No, it's not an
Regardless.
option.
Regardless.
No, it's not an
Regardless.
option.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And just not being in fear of who I am as a person.
Right.
You know, I'm not defiled by what people think of me
Mm-hmm.
and who I am. I just know that I know.
Hey.
You know?
Right. So I know some of the struggles that I come across, and I know you guys can relate, is oftentimes guys are attracted to the alpha female type because we are go-getters, we're doing our thing, we handling business. But then when they get in a relationship, all of a sudden, oh, you doing too much. You working too hard. You always got to run stuff. But okay, but that's why you were attracted to me. So what's the problem? So
Right.
Khadijah, can you speak from experience on that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Yeah, we do have those realities that do exist in relationships. I have assessed myself. Married for 16 years. I'm currently divorced, and I noticed that that does come in play. Where sometimes it's a little levels of intimidation that might be present when you have a woman that is a go-getter. I think it just depends on each individual. I'm gonna come a little left. Well, not too left. I think the title woman itself holds a lot of weight.
Come on,
I
now.
don't think that if I know we're in this time where we use these types of adjectives to describe nouns, so I get it.
Yeah.
I just think the woman already has a voice just when we hear that term, who she is and what dynamic she brings to the table. So when we hear that negative connotation with the alpha, because when you go to the definitive definition of alpha, it has many definitions, but one of them that particularly relates in this space is a person having dominance or power or influence over a dynamic. So when the male hears that, that's something that he's not welcoming with that, especially when we're dealing with male and female, because I think it affects us more in the male and female space. Now, we say she's an alpha woman, we're amongst women. I think it's you're more receptible in that area. But when it's dealing with the male and female relationships, the male doesn't really like that.
Right.
They didn't like that description for their woman.
Yeah.
Because it makes some feel that you are trying to be the male in the relationship, as we see. And that's not sometimes the reality. Like I said, we're in a new space and time where we put these type of titles. But I think the title woman has enough dominance within itself that we don't have to describe it as an alpha. That. But if you want to utilize that, you can.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
It is. It
What?
It is.
Yeah.
I know for me, being an alpha woman, if you want to put the title on
that's
it.
fine. Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten me to where I am today. You know what I'm saying? It comes naturally. It's how I was raised. You know, take care of yourself. Make sure you can take care of yourself. But in saying that, my mother also taught me to be independent enough to be dependent.
Like
I
it.
was like, ew. She said, yeah, you can go get that drill and hang the TV up because I can do that. You know what I'm saying?
You sure can. I can't do it, but go ahead.
Well, you know. I was the only girl with 4 brothers. So, you know, some stuff I was like, oh, you know. My dad taught me some stuff. I get it. Some people have a knack for it, some people don't. But just because I know how to hang the TV, if I have a husband, I'm going to be, babe, can you hang the TV? I know good and damn well I can go get that drill and do it. But still, be independent enough to be dependent because men have to feel needed. They have to feel like they're being a provider. They have to feel like they're being a protector. So, yeah, I am a gun-carrying female, but when me and my husband go out, he got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's very important. You're laying it out when to use that title. If you want to use the title, it's alpha woman. But when it comes coming in our homes and our relationships, the male isn't his nature. I think the issue comes into place also. We don't understand our spaces and our places. You know, I come from a spiritual aspect, and the Holy Quran says the male is not like the female. And we, in this new day and time, I think we're comparing too much of each other. Yeah. Where God made me, I'm made this way. If you don't want to deal with the spiritual, then fine. I'm designed a certain way, and you're designed a certain way.
Exactly.
And we need to respect each other in the spaces. I don't need to come into your space, but sometimes conditions that affect us causes us sometimes to come into each other's space, particularly with the female.
Right.
If she is a woman and the male is not present, when she has children with that male, then especially if she has sons, she has to take on an alpha mindset.
Absolutely.
To be a protector and a provider where that's not necessarily her nature. The female nature is more of a nurturer. Yeah. She's the first nurse. She's the first doctor. She's the first caregiver. And even in those titles, sometimes you look at that, those are cheap titles. Those are not cheap titles.
Not at all.
They're not cheap titles, but sometimes we place them as being so.
Right.
So, it's important that we need to learn how to stay in, respect each other in each other's spaces. And I'm glad you shared that. When you're at home, you want your husband to be the alpha. Correct. Because like we said, with the definition of being an alpha, it's one who's showing dominance in a certain area. And that's what the male should be. Right. And the woman has her place. It doesn't make her less. Right. Her place is very important. And we can forgetting that a little bit about our spaces and how important each of our roles in the relationship creates the structure that we need to make us be more successful in our relationships.
Absolutely. I agree. Because some women, a lot of women get this, well, I can do anything the man can do. We're equal. No. I mean, I probably could do what he can do.
Do you want to?
Do I want to? One. Because I don't.
Me either.
And two, there is a difference. Like for me, I don't, and y'all, I'll share this with y'all. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I hate it. I mean, it makes my ass itch. It does. When children tell the mother Happy Father's Day. I can't take it.
Right.
Even though the father wasn't present, I can't. No, she probably did the damn thing, granted, and I'm pretty sure she held it down, but that's your mother. A mother can't teach a child the same thing a father can teach, and vice versa.
Right.
So I don't think that and I get it, they was just the absentee fathers, and I ain't never knew my daddy, so my mama getting all of that. No, honor your mom on Mother's Day if that's what you do and if that's what you wish, but she is definitely not your father. She may have taught you something. She probably could teach you how to hang a TV and all of that stuff, but still, I just don't like it. I think it diminishes the man, whether he was present or not. Give your mother the accolades on her day, or every day for that matter.
Right,
but I don't like it.
Yeah, marketers do it for that reason. It's always about commercializing. They do it with Mother's Day.
Yes.
They do it with Father's Day. They do it with Easter. It's all about just getting the revenue. That's the reason why they have now commercialized Father's Day cards on Mother's Day.
Right.
I always try to go back to that spiritual part of when I said it, like the male is not like the female, and it's taught to us in my faith, which is Islam, in the Holy Quran. It says that the man is a degree higher than the female. And I know some people be like, oh, wait a minute. But see, that's why I did my little research. What y'all call it?
Yeah, the fact checking.
Fact
That's
checker.
right. Good.
In 1 Corinthians,
Okay,
it
come
says,
on now.
come on, Mom, come on with it.
Come on with it.
In 1 Corinthians, it says that Christ is the head of man, and man is the head of woman. Now, that's coming from both
Come
books.
on
Right.
now.
So if you following the book, and if you believe what the Bible says,
But don't look at it as because the male is a degree higher, it's because he has a greater responsibility to lead.
absolutely.
So that's what we're confusing it at. If he's a true leader,
Absolutely.
he has to be a little bit more knowledgeable in how to
Absolutely.
lead.
Right.
But
Right.
as married, I was recently married, you're still married. We know what works in our homes.
Yes.
But those who have greater intelligence
That
in
part.
some areas, you will take the lead. Because if you're
Absolutely.
better financially, a wise man will allow you
Absolutely.
to take the lead.
Yes.
Right.
But we still know he is the leader.
Correct.
But if I'm wiser, that's going to help us meet our objective and success in our
Right.
marriage. Then he'll allow
Absolutely.
me to take the lead on the area. But it doesn't mean I'm greater than he or he's, and I'm less than him.
You're
That's
just good
what
at
I
some
mean?
things.
So when we
Yeah.
say, can an alpha female and an alpha male cohesively exist in a relationship?
They can. I think they can, as long as each person in the relationships knows their respective roles at that time.
Right.
Right.
Because you don't. If you're a natural born leader, like she said, you don't have to lead in every situation.
Right.
Mhm.
You know. Now, if your man is not a good leader, that's a whole nother conversation.
Correct.
Okay. But, and we got this in marriage counseling. He said, Pastor said, if you're better at taking out the trash, let that be what you do.
Yeah.
If Mike is better with taking out the trash, let that be his thing.
Mhm.
Just to piggyback on what you said, if you're more wiser with bills and budgeting, let the wife do that, or let whoever is better at it, let them do it. It's just like you have to know.
Stay in your lane, man.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in the lane.
I still believe in chivalry. I still
Right.
believe in opening doors, and I know somebody you ain't got to. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Right.
Yeah.
be independent. I can't stress. I really like when she said that. I've never heard anyone say that before, but it really makes sense. Be independent enough to be dependent.
Yes.
You can literally run a whole freaking, democracy by yourself if you could, but like she said, do you want to?
Right.
And then that man has to feel that might be his love language to be a provider. And if you're taking that opportunity from him, what's that going to mean for you in your relationship? So I do think, to answer your question, that alpha female and an alpha male can coexist in a relationship as long as each one knows their place. It might be more so on the woman to know, so she can take it back a notch when she needs to.
Right. But I feel like sometimes, men are intimidated by the alpha,
They are. Mhm.
whether they verbalize it or not.
Mhm.
And most of the time they're not gonna verbalize it. But the way they treat that alpha female
Mhm.
is totally different. It's like
Yeah.
almost like a competition of I'm gonna break you down because I need to be in that same position.
Well, that's not
Where-
healthy.
Yeah. there's
Yeah.
spousal jealousy. It's never talked about, but
Mm.
it's real.
And
Yes.
that's real. But
Yes.
and usually that comes in when Christ is not the head of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in that book, 1 Corinthians, remember I said Christ is the head of man.
Right.
So if the man is not following a pie, and even in the Quran it says he gives man a degree higher than the female. This all coming from God. So when we take that out of the equation, that's when a lot of those issues do come into play.
Yep.
I'll give a beautiful example of we're going to use the title alpha male, alpha female. Look at Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. That was a beautiful example.
Right.
How she was a lawyer. She was very well established, very intelligent. However, she stood behind her man to help him fulfill a goal of becoming that president. And but until when he was done with his presidency, who came forward with all her greatness? Michelle. She got her book out. She was doing more active, attending events and being, not that she wasn't when she was married, but she made herself active more.
Right.
But she took I want to say a back seat. She stood and helped and assisted sometimes on the side of her man and also behind her man. And then once his presidency was over, he didn't say to her, "Now I need you to sit down with me."
Yeah,
right.
He supported her and let her fly.
Absolutely.
So those are beautiful examples where you just stated that they can sit in those same spaces.
As a woman, that's your job anyway. It's like a bow and an arrow. A woman is supposed to shoot her man forward at all times. That's the role that we're supposed to have.
Right.
The bow and the arrow. You know.
Right.
So if I need to build you up in your area that you're weak at, relationships is just like partnership. Where I'm weak, you're strong. So we support each other in our weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because we're never going to be even in everything that we're like in a relationship. So in a relationship, once you know your strengths, then you deal with that. And you help that person out with that. I do believe that, yes, I'm pretty shivery on certain things like trash and blah, blah, blah. But if you ain't around, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But it's like in past dealings, like, when I said that some men are very intimidated by that strong woman because of the fact, it's not because you walk around saying, I'm a strong woman or whatever, but it's because, your strength and your security of yourself and your confidence in what we're doing, whether I'm getting my business together, then there is that. How do I do that? If I had that strength with me, and I don't mind having my man level up on me, please do.
Please do.
Please and thank you.
Exactly.
I don't want anybody that's not dominant in their security or their confidence because you have to be that to deal with somebody like me.
Yeah.
I promise you. Yeah. Or you're just going to be like crumbling. And if you're crumbling, then I can't even respect you as a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Yeah.
That's
because you're a man doesn't mean that you're going to be an alpha. Just because you're a woman, you don't mean you're going to be alpha either.
Right.
God designed certain levels of people because we need that. You have to have leaders. You have to have followers.
Right.
And so when
Chief
you
and
do,
Indians. Chief and Indians.
when you do have that, then it's like, how do we make sure in a relationship not to make that affect your person?
Right.
What
do you think, Jonathan, as far as men and alpha women?
I agree. Because that word tends to have like a lot of negative connotation.
Even for men, even if you say I'm alpha male. I kind of cringe at it sometimes.
Like some will expect that to be where it's just all brute force. Because that's where we'll generally compare it. Like our strength compared to a female strength in that physical aspect. I think it's where you were saying roles. I think we both have like our values. But equal isn't what it is. It's just different.
Right.
And I think a lot of people kind of get that confused where they're like, oh, we're totally equal. We're not.
No.
And some people just have a bad attitude towards that.
Right.
I think it's a beautiful thing that we have two distinct perspectives and two different values.
Right.
But when they come together, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Agree.
Because it's designed that way.
Right.
And it, of course, like with any relationship, it's going to have falters. It's going to have areas where we will have stress, strife. But when we use our intelligence, we're able to bring ourselves out of it. We all have experienced that in our relationships. But again, like we're stating with that, the title, we get so fixated sometimes on those titles. And we think our worth is based off the title, but because that's just on the platform we live in. Everything is based title.
Yeah.
And real work has to go behind the title. So if the male is the lead, he has to lead. You just can't say I'm the man.
Right.
And then you're not leading properly.
Right.
You have to live by what that title you have, or you're going to lose the position. That's like that in any level. Like, you can't say you're a producer and you're not producing. You can't say you're a hairdresser and you're not.
You ain't dressing.
You ain't dressing no hair.
No, for real.
But the thing that we are really, particularly, and I will say in all communities, we see the rates of divorce that exist with all. It's very high in America.
Yeah.
But I do always say in the Black and Latino community, we are very damaged when it comes to male and female relationships. The art of marriage has not been taught to us properly.
Right.
We usually get in relationships a lot of times by default. I like you is not real dialogue.
Yeah.
We just fall into these spaces, and we usually learn by trial and error. So I'm grateful for you guys with this platform because it's going to help and assist others to understand the importance of the roles and whatever title you want to call it, alpha male, alpha female. We need each other to make the success.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
We
so
don't
at the end
have
of the
each
day-
other. It's not going to be
Absolutely.
successful.
Yeah, it's true.
And love has to be the underlying current
Right.
that helps us in that space.
Right.
Because when you love, you can, and God, it's beautiful. I was like, I was going to lean on the spiritual. Because how God loves us, if we don't listen or follow what he governs, he don't say, well, I'm not going to let the sun shine on you today.
Right.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna put the rain on you. You ain't getting no water today. I'm gonna put the rain on everybody else except you.
Yeah.
God doesn't love us like that.
Right.
He has patience with us. He's kind with us because my disobedience and one day I can be in total obedience the next.
Right.
And that's the same way we have to have with our mates. I believe we have to just be a little bit more patient with them, be more loving with them, and feed what you want change in. If you want the plant to grow, you're going to care for the plant more.
Right.
You ain't going to say this old dirty old plant ain't going to grow, let the leaves fall off and just let it die more. If you already see it's already dying.
Compromised in position already.
You feed the area where you want to grow more. So we want our relationships to grow. It's the way that we love each other and handle each other will help it with the growth, no matter what title you put yourself under.
That's good stuff. Right? That's good stuff.
Right. But and so in work,
Yeah.
you know, people talk about the alpha.
The alpha community.
That yeah.
They do, but I mean,
It's a whole thing. I mean, and I don't know why. I feel like if you have an alpha in the building, things gonna get friggin' done.
they're gonna get done.
You know? But
Yeah.
people, oh, she's just a bossy. She's this, she's that.
No,
You know?
oh, you're aggressive.
Yes.
Oh, let's not say you're angry female.
Right.
Or angry Black female.
Right.
Because I voiced my opinion. Oh, because I was assertive and direct in what I wanted. I'm aggressive and mad.
Right.
Okay.
You know?
Was I supposed to shy away and go back in the corner and y'all figure it out?
Exactly.
No.
You know?
So I hate when people do that as well.
Mhm.
You know, because we're so conditioned to, not say anything, stay in your place, be quiet.
Right.
No, I don't like X, Y, and Z. But that doesn't mean that I'm angry.
Right.
It just means that I'm direct and I want to see some change because this doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Exactly.
Or this does X, Y, and this. It may bring me anxiety. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean I'm aggressive and angry.
Right.
Now, when I get there is when you start accusing me and saying, now I'm angry.
Yeah. And I'm gonna let you know too. You're gonna know.
Yeah.
You know a show that I love, and I don't know if many of you watch it, have watched it. It's very popular now. It's called Bridgerton.
Oh, I love it.
And one thing I love
You know what?
about this show
I
that
love
it
Bridgerton.
exemplifies a great power with the females in that series.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the of course I love the hair, the dress, but
Yes.
the levels of power in their femininity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My favorite one of the Queen and
Queen Charlotte.
and what's the other? Oh my God, I know I'll kill myself. She has the most amazing brows. Those brows light her face up. She carries the cane. I can't think. My Bridgerton people.
Lady, is it Dandridge?
Lady Dandridge.
Yes.
Okay, we'll use her as example.
Mm-hmm.
They speak with authority,
Mm-hmm.
even as women, but they're not loud. They're not coming out of character. They're, when the male even disagrees, they know how to fall back because when they're governed by wisdom, whatever Lady Dandridge said, it usually comes to pass. Even, but she doesn't lose her femininity. Those women speak their truth without losing it, and that's one thing I think we in this modern day as women need to master.
Mm-hmm.
Mastering the power of femininity. Massive power, and you don't always have to respond. It's power in silence.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's much power in silence.
Yes, it is.
And when we stay in those places of femininity, you're gonna get different responses because it's. I know we both, like I said earlier, we're both damaged in these relationships. The male, the female, we are going through a lot of drama, a lot of everything in our relationship, in our personal lives, and then we have to come together and we're not happy. So we understand how powerful that femininity is, because I think it's like a lost art amongst us women. It's just now we peeing standing up all the time. I want to sit down.
Yeah.
I want to sit down.
Yeah.
I want to understand because I'm seeing it more and more. And when you with the right person, they help you be softer, in my opinion.
Yes.
When you have a man that's I'm in a courtship right now, and he's doing things, he's being accountable, he's helpful, it's making me softer. And I like it.
Right.
I like it a lot.
Softy.
I love that for you.
I like it. I like being softer.
Yeah.
And you know, and
it sounds like you said earlier, it's like,
good.
do you want to? Like, yeah, I can do it, but do you want to?
Yeah, it feels real good instead of being
all the time.
I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I did that already. I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
You just want to be mild mannered and take over.
I'll be a dainty.
Lead me
when I can.
Yes.
Just be dainty.
Right.
And then, you know, and Kay do it all the time. Like, well, bae. She said it again.
Right.
Again, we always say it's about the delivery.
Yeah.
Delivery
it's about
is
the
very
Delivery
delivery.
is everything.
Uh-huh.
Like I say, you can get anybody to do anything on the planet you want if you're delivered.
Correct.
Look, okay, so I had a little transparent moment. I had a little lesson with my daughter that she just graduated from high school, and I was at work. She was at home. Mike was at home, and she was like, she called me. She said, "Mom, did you order the we did like a HEB order or something? Did you forget to order the pasta? I asked for some bow tie pasta." I was like, "Oh, I forgot to order it." She was like, "Well, I was gonna make my lunch for tomorrow for school." I was like, "I'm sorry, babe. It's too late. You know, the food is there." And I was like, "Why don't you go ask Mike if he can go to the store and get you some?" He was like, "He outside doing something in the yard. He ain't going to stop." I said, "This is what you say. You go out there and say, 'Hey, Mike.'" If you want to be on the show or you have a show idea, email us at transparencyinthechair@outlook.com, or you can visit our website at transparencyinthechair.hair. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, but watch our full episodes on YouTube. Transparency in the Chair, y'all. Let's get transparent.
I let the music take you anywhere like tide. Cause it's me they calling the real loco. Mass play when I on the flow. Gal bend over and touch their toe. Everybody don't know the flow. Party turn up and turn over. Over and over, over. Listen, hug up a friend